Good morning or good afternoon. Time for the long-awaited video on the Game Jam. I know you've been waiting for this video because look at that number, 2K. Mom, I'm famous! Originally, I wanted to give each game its own short little video instead of cramming them all into one. It would have made it easier for me to edit, but you guys asked for this. But alright, as excited as you may be waiting for me to get to the point, I have to make an intro and provide the context you need. I, like you, spend a little too much time on YouTube Shorts. During those hours of scrolling, I stumbled upon an open invite to a game jam. I considered it, but since I had already applied to help an indie animation studio, that's a story for another time in the far future, I thought maybe I'd leave it for later. And if it appeared again on my recommended page, then I would join. I think a few months passed, and a different video about the same game jam appeared. I had made up my mind. Although it was not at all in my 2026 to-do list, I chose to give it a try. As you know, I draw. So day one on the Discord was spent trying to find a team. Since the jam had already been running for a while, I thought it would take a bit. Since I had no messages, I closed Discord and promptly forgot about it. That was until I opened my email and it turned out there were a lot of people in search of an artist. I presented my poorly done portfolio, and soon enough, I was part of 2 teams. I'll start with the first team. Let's call them Team 1. A really small group, 1 composer, 1 programmer, and only 1 other artist. The concept was pretty simple. As a girl who was raised on that free mobile app, I wasn't very far from home, so I got to work and made all these little wheels that work differently in the game. I started with the soda can because I thought it would be the easiest, which set up the art style for the game. The toilet paper gave me so much trouble, but these were the easiest to make. I had to draw the sky and ground, and this little garage as well. That took a lot of trial and error to make look right. And the game cover/icon? I made it with the Game Jam theme outside the box. As you can see, the kid here has collected these things you use in the game, so presumably the game is the child's imagination. Overall, great team, and it was the best thing I would wish for someone's first ever Game Jam. Team 2, I joined the very same day as Team 1, and it was a lot harder to work with. I'll try to be objective. The concept was very important, was a fantasy fighter. Cool. It wasn't established yet what I needed to do, so I just prepared some quick sketches with the designs I was given. The team consisted of over 7 people. I'm not quite sure what their specific roles were, but I know there were 2 other artists. One did backgrounds, and I was brought in as a second pixel artist and animator. If you've seen my other videos, you can see none of them feature pixel art. It was stressful, but nothing I couldn't push through. I had done pixel art before, but this required a lot of characters, plus idle, walk, and attack animations. Aside other things, I felt morale was really low and it was a little hard to get progress done. But in the end, I completed most of it, and I learned quite a bit about pixel animation. By the way, I also found this website, which I'll leave in the description, which explains pretty simply how to animate pixel sprites, and it was actually really good help to have. After a few weeks, I tried to join a 3rd team, but was turned down. Not because they didn't like my art, but because their team was full. Not much after, I found another team, so hooray, Team 3. I'm trying to be less involved in this project. Since they have an art director, I just do whatever they need me to do for backgrounds. I followed what the other artist has done and made this hallway. I like the lighting, and I used this leaf brush I'd never used before, so that was fun. I won't give any more details about the project because it's still pretty early in development, but when I can say more, and if I do continue to work on this project, I probably will feature it on the channel. Before the outro, here are some things I learned and advice I would give after my first game jam. Note, do take this advice with a couple of teaspoons of salt since it is my first ever game jam. Teamwork. Working with each team was an entirely different experience. Don't feel attacked, team. I'm probably not talking about you. Number 1. Don't spring up random ideas on your team last minute. Number 2, clarity. Game jam or not, every person adds their own flair to the work they do, most of the time with intentionality. But clarity, especially in projects with more than 1 person is involved, helps everyone be on the same page to bring a singular vision forward. If you're the one asking for art but don't know much about art yourself, try setting up a Milanote, Canva, or Pinterest page that you can share with your artist that contains the style you have in mind. It helps you a lot, and you can do similar things for other roles, like with composers or even writers. Even a small description can go a long way. Number 3, skill sets. Be aware of what the people you're bringing on are actually capable of doing. In my experience, I'm not entirely sure how I let this happen, but the way teams were recruiting was, can you do art? Good, help. And I accepted. I know art is a large umbrella, and many of us artists can adapt. But we're also here to have fun and give our best for the team. I know it's my fault for not asking for details, but it became a problem when I got asked to do pixel art. They offered other options, but I found it best to stay on medium, even if it meant learning a new skill. Having to learn on the fly made me slow, and even though there was another pixel artist, I felt even if we were both to work overtime, we would fall short. In summary, let us use skills that only we have spent so much time perfecting. Near the end of the game jam, I was having many second thoughts. A few years ago, I didn't want to work with anyone because they would change my brand. But here I was helping with someone else's project. It was confusing to say the least, but it had me asking if this is what I wanted. I even went as far as to question if I really wanted to be an artist full time. But at the other side now, I don't feel that way anymore. This was a valuable learning experience, and I think I won't be doing it again, at least for a while. I will continue to work with some of these teams to expand the idea beyond the game jam, but that's all. But hey, maybe the real game jam was the friends we made along the way. But in all seriousness, it was great to work alongside these people, and it was a valuable experience. Thank you for the teams that welcomed me, and thank you for watching. I hope you have a wonderful week. Good luck with your endeavors. Goodbye.